Read something I read already once because I just wanted to do stuff that I created while I was here. So I hope it's okay. Maybe I'll do a better reading this time. It's called An Artist, and I wrote it at 3:35 a.m. I don't know.
It's the witching hour.
Yeah. An artist. We create because we must. It's the oxygen we breathe. You don't need to tell your heart to pump, and it just does, and so must we. It's our meaning to life. What better ode can we give to Mother Nature to celebrate, to feel alive, to be alive? Sometimes it feels like a switch is turned on, and the lenses over my eyes, the ones that tells me how I should perceive and how I should receive the bounty that is before me. I see a door in a certain place, in a certain light, and I know what the story is that must be told. As I walk up the stairs with the crumbled walls caked with time and the life is lived, I saw angels afloat. And they beckoned and welcomed all who passed this way. And we humans, with both our feet planted on the ground, refused to be nailed down to live this ordinary life. We were meant to be extraordinary, and to gift the world with a feast for their eyes and ears. We were meant to make a difference, to challenge, to bicker and debate. And we were meant to shake things up so that you might waken from your slumber and then begin to live. In case you're wondering, I hate doing this stuff. It's so nerve-wracking to me, so it's just like... But I make myself do it because it feels like exposure therapy where I will get better and less scared, but I don't know, it's still like, anyways. So this is the last one I'm going to read. I wrote this. Wow, what's up with the number 3 at 3:40 a.m.? And I just woke up with this thought and stuff, and you'll see what it's about. So it's called What More Do You Need? Look at that man, she says. It looks like he's got it all. You'd never know it. You'd never guess of the life he had before. Unless you stop to find out, unless you stop to converse, he was a man just like us, who had dreams, who had work that was all-consuming, and some days was a struggle more than others and worse. And it was the trials that molded that man, tempered his steel to a fine-honed blade it is today, made to cut through the bullshit and grass, and oh, so much grass, to get what he needs, to give what he can, to bring back to the world and eventually back to himself. The thing that can't be bought, but a thing that can be taught. How to be human and to have compassion. To give and receive in bountifuls, fulfillment to oneself. And now you are really living the dream that in that short time of your life, you were the ripple that spread out into the world. Your message that would carry whatever it is you wish. To have made a difference, to have made a dent in another's soul. This is the legacy you would carry. Isn't that worth its weight in gold? Now what more do you need? Yeah, another castle or two would be cool, along with a twin carbon copy of Beulah. That's so great. So who's that about? I wonder. Now the floor is open to whoever wants to share a thought or anything it doesn't have to make sense, you know, whatever you wanna.
Jimmy Cole, you stood up. I thought you were going to take a stand.
Oh, good.
Oh. Yay, Paul!
No, it wasn't good saying.
Oh, the elusive words.
So I used to write a lot more poetry than I do now, but and I've written stuff more recently than this, but this was a poem I wrote 20 years ago that I edited the other night, so I figured I'd give it a read. It's called Sound of Seasons, and it's a sestina, which is an old Italian form of poetry. So it has form. I think it's really supposed to be read like off the page, but I'll do my best out loud. Sound of Seasons. Passing flowery bushes and gardens blossoming spring, memories as butterflies dance in perfumed air. The sun shining, a warm afternoon drive, windows down, thoughts stir my mind. Following the coast and pebble beaches of Long Island, listening for the seagulls' cry and season sound. Summer's sailing the rolling sound. Gulls bounce from jetty rock to jetty rock. They spring into the wind and back down again. The island tells stories of the wailing sea, and the air smells the same as when Gold Coast Gatsbys spent their mind and drove Packard Roadsters down their mile-long drive. With kids, coolers, and sandcastle toys, Mother would drive us to the beach club, pool, the snack bar, the sound of screaming children with sandy sandwiches. My mind reflects on such innocent times. When spring would end, love of summer begin, breathing the air of sunset's breeze and summer storms cleansing the island. The daylight shrinks as autumn shades the island. Trees in the new season's ethnic leaves fall, and cars drive through, sending them to the air and back down again. The plop of pumpkin seeds, the sound of crackling fires, and the brisk air prove spring has gone, summer too, and winter chills the mind. Winter comes to weather and wallow the mind. Gray skies harbor frozen, sailboats packed away. The island shivers like winter swans and geese who long for spring. Blizzards sweep meadow clean. Waves of cold cotton snow drive my old dog to warm her bones by the fire, while the sound of wind shudders the windows with an ominous air. As water from the melting white makes rivers, the air feels fresh with the dark season's end. The mind stirs with pleasant moments as birds sound their songs through growing trees. The island is alive again with crocus and tulip blooms. We drive, windows down, flowery scents. The sun shines on spring. In spring, I remember the blossoming air, the autumn drive, the cold winter mind, summer on the island, and the sound of seasons passing.
Wait, I have a request. Can you read the one you wrote about an artist? I love that one.
That wasn't a poem.
It was great though. It was great
Okay.
perspective, and I love that. I would like to request that if possible.
Sure, I'll do it for you, Mary. I
Thank
wouldn't do
you.
it for anyone else.
Alright, before I lose my nerve, I'll read something.
Also, I want to. It's
Yeah.
not
Yes.
something I wrote, though.
Yes,
Can I just
that's
sit here and
okay.
read it?
No, you can come out the front.
Yeah, I had to. Come
Does
on,
that mean I don't have to
I-
read this?
Okay.
no, I want you to read it too, but.
Okay.
This is an extract from a new novel. By no means am I a poet. I was born in a nest. Feathers encompassed me, rustling dark, the soft down from my siblings rustling against me. My siblings and I shared the same nest growing up. In time though, we would spread our wings far and wide and would never see each other again. But for those few precious moments as hatchlings, we were family. My first food was blood and flesh. I don't know what I was fed, but I recognised and have always craved since the sweet smell of blood and the tasty tang of ripe meat. It took me a long time to overcome these impulses living amongst humans. Do we ever truly overcome what we first experienced as hatchlings?
I want to read that. Oh my God. Makes me want to read that story. Totally.
Bellator, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, this is
Yay,
terrifying.
Diane.
I did not write this.
Yeah,
This
no.
is,
Hey, man, we all.
This is a poem by Victor Hugo that I learned in French class, and it's one that's like stuck with me ever since. And I find myself just kind of like reciting it to myself while I'm here. So maybe this will help me to like get it out of my head. And also, so I'll read it in French first, and then I will read it in
Ooh.
English. Okay, so I'm gonna go slow so that I don't fuck it up. Oh, also backstory. This is a poem that he wrote to his daughter. Her name was now I can't remember what her name was. Geraldine, I think. But she. Hold on. I do need to make sure that I know her about this. Well, anyhow, it was for his daughter. She died, and he had a very hard time accepting the death of his daughter. When the later on, with the spiritualist movement came about, he found solace in communicating with her through that. So I thought this was really beautiful. So, demain, dès l'aube, à l'heure blanchie la campagne, je partirai. Vois-tu, je sais que tu m'attends. J'irai par la forêt, j'irai par la montagne. Je ne puis demeurer loin de toi plus longtemps. Je marcherai, les yeux fixés sur mes pensées, sans rien voir au dehors, sans entendre aucun bruit. Seul, inconnu, le dos courbé, les mains croisées. Triste, et le jour pour moi sera comme la nuit. Je ne regarderai ni l'or du soir qui tombe, ni les voiles au loin descendant vers à fleurs. Et quand j'arriverai, je mettrai sur ta tombe un bouquet de houverts et de bruyères en fleurs. And in English, it translates to, tomorrow from dawn, at the time when the countryside is whitening, I will leave. You see, I know you're waiting for me. I will go by the forest, I will go by the mountain. I can't stay away from you any longer. I will walk with my eyes fixed on my thoughts, without seeing anything outside, without hearing any noise. Alone, unknown, with a curved back, hands crossed. Sad, and the day for me will be like the night. I won't look at the falling evening gold, neither the sails in the distance going down to Orquevaux. And when I arrive, I'll put on your grave a bouquet of green holly and heather in bloom.
Oh.